It's time to test if we've actually perfected Cacio e Pepe. So we're going to take a mix of the techniques we've worked on in the past two videos, but all the ingredients are basically going to be the same. We're using the same Barilla al Bronzo type bucatini. It has a great starch content. We're going to use the same Peck Romano. I like Locatelli, use whatever you want, but we're going to box grade it this time, and that's going to be the main difference. A lot of people already use this technique to make their Cacio e Pepe, so I'm definitely not creating any techniques here. I do also use this already for my carbonara. So the thing I learned from the last one is I need more cheese than I think. Normally I would be like, okay, that's like half of what I need, and that's 25 grams. I need about 150 grams to really make a good sauce. So here is that cheese. If you want to use the larger side of the box grater, that's probably fine. The small one takes forever, but we're sitting right around 152, 53 grams. Like all past versions, we're going to now get some pepper into the pan. Once that's nice and toasted, we're going to add the starchy pasta water to it. Same as always. I'm going to cook it in less water than I previously did to make sure there's a good enough starch content in there. If you have a large flat pan, that would probably work best. That fits the pasta, but I don't. I also forgot to show you guys this part. Forgot to film it, but what I did was I took ladles of that starchy pasta water and I mixed it with the cheese that I had box grated. See, I kind of faked it there for you and didn't actually pour any water in, but I put about 1.5 full ladles in here and mix it until it's the consistency of like a ricotta. That's exactly what you're looking for. There's no big clumps, and that's going to simulate what we did in the blender. So once that pasta's done cooking, we're going to throw that right into the pan, just like we did last time with that pepper and that slightly reduced starchy water, and we're going to start to make this sauce. Add a little more of that starchy pasta water into the pasta, and then let this cook for another minute or two until it gets right to al dente, and then we're going to start incorporating that cheese right into it. I'm going to add the cheese in little by little. I don't want to risk it clumping. I don't think it really will, and I also just want to make sure I get the right consistency in case this was a little too much cheese. Spoiler, it wasn't. But once we start mixing it in, it's going to be very similar to the blender results. I'm going to add a little more pasta water, and it starts to become very creamy right away. The blender got it to the point where it didn't clump at all. There's little cheese strands pulling through here, which is totally fine, but overall, this is way better than just kind of coming and grating the cheese right into it, which is what I used to do. So definitely refined, definitely on the process to perfection. I think taste will tell us if we achieve that or not, but once I get all that cheese in there, the consistency is really good. I'm going to switch over to just a spatula. That way I'm scraping down the sides, making sure nothing clumps, nothing sits in one spot for too long. Scrape off that bottom, scrape off the sides, and you're left with a really good consistency. I'm going to give it a few flips just to get some air into the sauce, which will really help with the emulsification, and that's looking pretty perfect to me. So we're going to plate this up and see how we did. This plate has also just been warmed in the oven quickly, so it doesn't make that cheese cold the second it touches a cold ceramic surface. So warm your plates, everybody, any pasta. Try to get fancy with the twirling of the pasta, as always. Didn't always work. We're going to top this like every other dish, a little extra pepper and a little extra cheese, and that's it. I'm really happy with the consistency of the sauce. It's definitely way better than the first one. I don't know if it's as good as the blender version, but it looks like what a handmade Cacio e Pepe should look like. And now let's taste it. Overall, the taste is perfect. It's exactly what I'm looking for. There's a little bit of a cheese pull, which means it's all not fully turned into a creamy sauce, but I'm totally fine with that. 98% of it is. You can even see on the very bottom of it, I'll show you the bowl in a second here. There's nothing. There's no extra liquid. It's just a well-made sauce. Is this the finale? I don't know. I'm going to keep trying to perfect it, but for now, this is as good as I can do.